Hello, Food FAQers. I'm Mariella.
And I'm Eric.
And today we're talking about a sandwich so good you can call it dinner.
It is delicious. It's super hearty.
It really is. And this entire episode is going to be dedicated to the sandwich because it is just so good and so filling and so dinner worthy.
Yeah.
And Eric, I don't know if you made this up or what, but it's so good.
No, I didn't make it up. I saw it, but I kind of tweaked it.
Yeah.
But I did not make it up. So this sandwich is based off of, it has the flavors of a French onion soup. And I love French onion soup. It's not my favorite soup, but it is number 2.
What's number 1?
Number 1, it's super basic, simple. It's just like a tomato basil.
Really?
A good creamy tomato basil soup. Do you know who has a really good tomato basil soup?
Who?
Whenever think about it, Nordstrom Cafe.
Let me tell you, Nordstrom Cafe is like a hidden secret for people who shop at Nordstrom's.
I don't shop there, but I eat there.
Me neither. Somebody once invited me to lunch there. I didn't know that existed. I ate a French dip sandwich and I think it changed my life.
Go have a tomato basil soup from Nordstrom Cafe and it is so good.
Yum. You know what? I am going to do that. And you know what else is good? The Macy's Cafe. Do they still exist?
Not really.
Because I think, one mall here has it, but they have a white chicken chili. Fucking delicious.
I'm all about white chicken chili.
Oh my God, me too. Maybe for the fall.
But try that. And then you know what? Another one too, that it's not as good as the Nordstrom tomato basil, but Panera also has a decent tomato basil soup.
Yeah, and their French onion is actually pretty good too, I think.
Is it good? I don't think I've had the French onion. Here's the thing. Here's the trick with the Panera tomato basil soup.
Tell me.
Okay, you got to get the potato chips and put it in there and eat it with it.
You're so weird.
Delicious.
No, I won't be doing that. That sounds fucking disgusting. But hey, you know what? It's your soup.
You know what? Is what it is. You do you.
But tell me about the sandwich, Eric. Tell me all about it.
All right. So what you're going to do is, so it really just depends how much meat you're going to use. So we're just going to stick with the basic 1 pound of ground beef. All right. So here's the deal. You can use ground beef. You can use ground pork. You can use ground chicken. You can use ground turkey. I do use ground turkey sometimes. Just keep it on the healthier side. But if you want the full deliciousness and decadence of the meal, use the ground beef. So I would say probably get 2 onions or 1 really large onion. And you're going to chop it really thin and you're going to put it in a pan with some olive oil. This is the longest process of the sandwich because you have to caramelize these onions, and caramelizing onions takes a while.
What does that mean?
Caramelizing means that we're going to get them really soft and they're going to darken in color. And what that does is it, brings up the sugar in the onion and it makes the onion nice and sweet.
Yeah. Delicious.
So that's why when you eat French onion soup, it's a little on the sweet side.
Yeah.
And that's what onion is.
It's almost like jammy.
It is. And that's what you're going to do to the onions. Okay. And we will talk in a minute how you can actually do a quicker version of caramelizing onions. Take the onions, put them in your olive oil, saute them. And like I said, you just got to be patient. And the thing is, don't really walk away from it. Let it keep going. And right when you're getting to that caramelization state, you're going to take some balsamic vinegar. You're just going to splash the onions with balsamic vinegar, splash to your heart's content. I really don't have a measurement for it. So you're going to splash the balsamic vinegar on there. Then what you're going to go ahead and do is you can take your ground beef. You can remove the onions while you cook the ground beef. I get lazy. I just throw it in there with the onions and you let that ground beef go. Go ahead and this when you start seasoning it. You don't want to put much salt in there, but go ahead and put some pepper in there. Red pepper flakes might be good. Just any type of profile you want of seasoning, but know that it's going to be like French onion soup. A bay leaf is actually really good in there too, by the way, if you put a bay leaf in there. So then you have the onions in there, you have the meat in there, and you're going to take 1 packet of onion soup mix and you're going to pour that packet over your ground beef and your onions, and you're going to let it keep cooking a little bit, let all those flavors marry. And then you're going to put probably about 1/4 of a cup of water in there. This is where your bay leaf can go in. So you put your 1/4 of a cup of water in there. And this is also why I said be careful with the salt, because there's so much salt in that French onion soup mix.
Yeah.
And you're going to let it go and you're going to let it simmer, but you're going to keep it simmering and you're going to let that water almost evaporate. And it's going to create this really thick, soupy consistency around your meat. And I love putting also a couple of shakes of Worcestershire sauce in there.
Yum.
I don't know, just as a nice little little spice excitement to me. While this is going, take your loaf of bread. I've used loaf of French bread. I've used baguette. I've used sourdough bread. Cut it in half. Dig out the inners of that bread. Don't throw those inners away. I like to eat it. So
we know.
We know. And now it's time to layer your cheese on the bottom half of the bread and the top half of the bread. At least I do on both. And use any cheese you want. If you want to stick traditionally, it should be a Gruyere cheese, but I don't know if you want to spend money on Gruyere cheese for a sandwich. So use what your heart tells you to do. Put the cheese in there, put it in the oven, 350 oven. I don't know, about 10 minutes. You just want the cheese to get all melty and you want the bread to get just a little bit crispy, not super hard. By the time the bread comes out, you should have this nice, thick, delicious sauce that's on top of your ground beef. You're going to put the ground beef in the sandwich, close the sandwich. Here's a key that I learned. Okay. After you close the sandwich, I like to put like a little heavy weight on top of the sandwich, like a pan or a pot. Basically, you're just letting the sandwich rest. You don't have to do this either. You could wrap the sandwich up in aluminum foil and just keep it there for a little bit. And you let it rest 10 minutes, 20 minutes, not too long. You don't want the sandwich to be cold, but a good 10 minutes will be fine. And when you're done, you cut that into pieces and that's it. That is your sandwich.
You know what's funny? When you told me about this, I was like, I think Eric lost his marbles.
I know.
I was like, this is questionable, but I gave it a shot and I made it on a baguette. Also, I timed how long it took me to caramelize the onions because I'm a dork. And it took me, I want to say, I think it was like 23 minutes. I know it's exact, but it took me 23 minutes to caramelize the onions. But after that, once I added the ground beef to it, it was a quick go. You know, I added the water and all that jazz, and the Worcestershire sauce, I feel like very much gives it a depth of flavor that I enjoy. And I added a little extra balsamic as I went along. I would taste it as I went because I wasn't sure. I don't know. I wasn't sure what I was looking for. And I'd say altogether, I may have added like a little less than a tablespoon of the balsamic. It was so flippin' delicious. I didn't wait it because I texted you for instructions and you ignored me. So I just had to go with it because, you know.
My apologies. I was probably doing that thing that I have to do every Monday through Friday.
That's disgusting.
I agree. You know. So.
But I wrapped it up in like super tight. What is that paper called? Parchment paper. And then I wrapped it in aluminum and I let it sit for like 20 minutes. It was really fucking good and filling. Like me and my husband both ate, and my husband can eat. He wasn't hungry for hours, which absolutely never happens. It's very filling. It's not going to help you lose weight. We're not talking.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's not that meal, but it is absolutely delicious and something that you can make really any day of the week. And you can take as long as you want. If you really want to make those onions fancy and caramelize them, you can take longer. But if you're in a hurry, you can do this dish. You can make it in 35 minutes.
Yeah, you can. I think so there's a trick to speeding up your caramelized onions. Mm-hmm. And I tried it last time. It does work, which is great. So basically, you put your onions in the pan, and when you put your onions in the pan, you want to go ahead and put a little bit of water in there. Mm-hmm. So, and again, not much, maybe like a fourth of a cup, an eighth of a cup, very little amount. And essentially, you're letting the onions boil to soften.
Yeah.
And then once the water is evaporated, go ahead and put some oil in there and start sauteing them till they fully caramelize. That does take off a hunk of time.
It does. I did that. I made them like that as well. Cause I've made caramelized onions and it's taking me an hour before.
Yeah.
So the quickie version works just as well.
It does.
And it gives you the same flavors. So it's absolutely a meal that you can make really any time that you have 30 minutes to make a meal.
Absolutely.
And another thing I like about this meal is, let's say you have people eating at different times. School is starting up again. People are going to be on different schedules. Kids have practice, whatever. You can make the meat mixture and leave it on the pan. Make it, so that you can leave it on the stovetop. And then you can have the bread on the side. People can toast it as they come in and fill it and make it per person, which is also a great thing for these busier times that are coming up, and it helps you smooth into just new schedules. So, okay, Keter, I was reluctant to try your French onion soup sandwich, and I am a convert.
I appreciate that. It's really good. And so I also learned if you make a lot of this meat, man, it goes good on top of rice. It goes good mixed with pasta. So the meat itself is also versatile if you have leftover meat. So if you want to make a larger batch because you want to kind of cut corners for the next night's dinner, this meat can absolutely be repurposed into multiple different meals.
I love making one thing and then making it a whole different thing with a new outfit another day. That is so amazing.
And the meat gets better the next day because it's, the flavors have married longer.
I wouldn't know because I made just half a pound. I made just enough for us to
okay.
Mm-hmm. But I think I could put this on rice and even my kids would eat it, I think.
Yeah.
They didn't eat the sandwich though. I didn't feed it to them because
it sounds super weird, but you could make like spaghetti with red sauce out of it. I know it's like sacrilegious, like, many different things right now, but try it. Don't give me that eye roll. Just try it.
I'm not actually. I think it might be good. It might even be good with like rigatoni or like a shortcut pasta and cheese on top. And it's almost like, what is that? A baked ziti.
Yeah.
I would make a baked ziti with that.
It's really good.
I'm going to be doing this, I think.
It's really good. That's why I make so much of it at once because I'll make the sandwich and then I'll put the rest of the meat in the refrigerator and I will repurpose the meat throughout the week.
Neat. Well,
not the other week, like just the next day. Get rice, get pasta, whatever you want. And so it's a quick meal.
I haven't made picadillo in so long because my son, when he was younger, wouldn't eat picadillo, like any ground beef. So I'm going to try it again.
So for everybody out there, picadillo is it's a
ground beef kind of like
ground beef dish. It's really good. Has olives in it. It has
a little vinegary
in it. Yeah. Has like a red sauce on it. Like not really pasta-y, but like not like an Italian red sauce, but it's,
it's more sloppy Joe than pasta sauce.
Yeah, exactly.
But delicious as well. Maybe one day we'll talk about Cuban food again. And
some people put raisins in it, and I hate the raisins in it.
Those people are wrong. It's okay. We love them anyway, but they're wrong.
This is why we found each other. Like the only two in Miami that don't like raisins in their picadillo.
Ugh. What's wrong with people?
Nasty.
Anyway, while we decide the fates of these people who put fruit in meat.
Really gross.
Yes, we want you to have a fantastic week, and we're going to be coming at you with lots of super useful content that's going to help you get back to school, back to feeding your kids and yourself. It's like Parent New Year coming up, and we're going to help
Parent New Year's coming up. And then after Parent New Year is my most exciting time. We're going to start with some autumnal meals.
Can't wait to soup it.
Blazing hot frickin' summer. I'm ready for it to cool down in a month or two. So that's coming up. Autumnal foods.
So we're going to stuff your face and you're going to love it. And we can't wait to do it.
Can't wait. Me too.
So have a fantastic week and we'll be back very soon with some more amazing ideas to help you get along. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.